Prana Tejas and Ojas, the meaning and what they are in Ayurveda. Hey guys, welcome to Claire Minded. My name is Claire. As I said, we're going over Prana Tejas and Ojas and the meaning of what they are in Ayurveda. So in this video, I'm going to briefly explain what these three subtle energies are, and then I will be explaining the three bodies, the physical, the subtle, and the karmic body, and then I'll go into specifics about Prana, Tejas, and Ojas. But starting at the beginning, what is Prana, Tejas, and Ojas? And when you think of Prana, Tejas, and Ojas, you have to think of the doshas in relation to it. So we call these three subtle energies gunas, or subtle energies, because we have prana, which is likened to air, which is likened to vata, and then tejas, which is likened to fire, which is likened to pitta, and then ojas, which is likened to water, is likened to kapha. So essentially, prana, tejas, and ojas are the three subtle energies of the doshas. We also refer to them as the gunas in Ayurveda. And essentially, the prana, tejas, and ojas kind of help us give a little deeper meaning and understanding of our bodies and our subtle energies. So these three subtle energies are the key in ultimately bringing peace of mind, clarity, mental stability, and eventually spiritual evolution. Now moving into the three bodies of the human. So every human has three bodies. We have the physical body, the subtle body, or the casual and karmic body. So the physical body is the densest of the three. Obviously, it's connected us to this physical world that we live in, and it contains the five sense organs, the five organs of action, and the five great elements: air, ether, fire, water, and earth. And they kind of help give us meaning and structure to this physical world that we live in. It's kind of what we know the most because we are acting, in these physical bodies, in this physical realm. After the physical body, we have our subtle body. And the subtle body is essentially our energetic template. So it's almost like a mirror of our subtle energy. So it contains things like the chakras and the nadi system. So very energy focused. Lastly is the casual or the karmic body. And this is the subtlest of all three bodies and the subtlest vibration that kind of contains within us. So essentially when we kind of experience things, we start with that core center, that purusha. This is like our core soul spirit being. And then we move into this casual or karmic body, which is a very subtle energy. These are things like our habits, our karmic duties that we came back here to, redempt in a way. And then it moves forward into a more subtle body. So we have, energies that are kind of moving around within us. And then it moves into the physical body, which is what we kind of have most association with. But when you're dealing with an imbalance or a problem or anything going on in your body or your system, we start in the physical world because that's what we see and we can connect with instantly, but we kind of have to dig deeper and deeper to see what the core issue is. So then you move into the subtle energies, and then you move into the karmic energies, and eventually you find your way back to pure light. Now, moving into more specifics about prana, tejas, and ojas and the explanation of those three subtle energies or gunas as we now know them to be. So starting with prana. Prana literally translates to life force energy. Prana is what gives us life. And in Ayurveda, prana can take on tons of different meanings. It can be translated into tons of different ways. But essentially, prana is our life force energy. It's essentially that breath that comes in. It's what gives us life. And like I said at the beginning, prana is likened to the air quality, which automatically links it to vata. So prana is a subtle form of vata dosha. So it carries very similar qualities. It's very light, it's cold, it's mobile, it's free flowing. Prana, it's this energy that is just kind of floating all around us, giving us life. Linking prana to the three bodies. Starting in the physical body, prana is essentially all functions of the vata dosha. In the subtle body, it's more movement and coordination of thought, the life energy force moving through the chakras and the nadis, heightened, and allows consciousness to eventually unfold. But it's very subtle, it's the movement of those subtle energies within our body. And then it's the casual or the karmic body. And prana for the casual body is just our motivation for life. So it's that very subtlest vibration. It's that movement, that motivation that we have for life. The three states of prana, the ideal balanced state of prana is when you have a healthy enthusiasm for life. You're just excited about life, you're moving freely, no constrictions, and you're just happy to be there. good enthusiasm, very like a vata balance qualities. You're very like happy, bubbly, joyful, you're excited, but not overly excited. So when prana goes in excess, this is when you're overly excited, you become distracted easily, you have anxiety, a lot of vata imbalance qualities like mood swings, you're going left and you're going right, super high and then super low. This is prana in excess. So this is when you have too much of that life force energy. And then when you're deficient in the prana, you actually lose that enthusiasm and that motivation for life. You can kind of take on a vata type depression. So that is when you have too low of prana. So good quality prana is just when you have that healthy enthusiasm for life, you know? Things are just going flow, like you're dealing with different emotions and everything, but you just have that general, you know, kind of ups and downs, and you're staying stable, you're happy, you're joyful, you're exuding positivity. After prana, we have tejas, and tejas can be translated to illumination, light, fire. It is likened to the fire qualities, so it is likened then to the pitta dosha. So tejas is the subtle form of the pitta dosha, so it carries a lot of the same qualities. So it's all about kind of like the digestion in the sense, you know, it's very active in moving the metabolism, and that digestive fire, it stimulates it, so it's very connected to the pitta dosha in that sense. And then connecting tejas to the three bodies, tejas in the physical body is the all functions of our agni, which is our digestive fire. Just like pitta dosha, it's very centered in the digestion system. So the physical body of tejas functions all of our agni. Moving into the subtle body, tejas is the digestion of our sensory impressions. So it's the strength of the intellect, you know, discrimination between truth and lie in the physical sense. Like, how can we tell the difference? The subtle body of tejas helps us digest and discriminate between the truth and the lies. Going even deeper, tejas in the casual or the karmic body it's our will to know eternal truth. So it's our discrimination between like pure truth and illusion. So almost like when you get to the subtlest vibration too, you almost lose sense of the physical world, and you're trying to discriminate between eternal truth and illusion. So that would be the karmic body with tejas. The three different states of tejas, the balance, the most ideal state is having an open mind, positive discrimination between truth and lie, and clarity. So you have a sharper focus kind of on life and just making decisions. You're very sharp, you're clear with yourself and the people around you. When you have tejas in excess, you become have more of those pitta imbalance symptoms. So you become very critical, you're angry, you have this sense of self-righteousness, you can be dealing with jealousy, be a little bit more cynical. This is tejas in excess. Now, when you have deficient tejas, you lose your ability to discriminate. So you become very impressionable, you're very gullible, you're not sure what is white and what is black. It's a very gray type of area. You don't have that clear focus anymore, so you lose your ability to discriminate between truth and illusion. So the healthy state of tejas, the subtle energy of pitta dosha, is just being very open-minded, you're being clear, focused, you have direction, and it's just this healthy state of digestion and ability to decipher between truth and lie. So that is the ideal place of tejas. The last of the three subtle energies is ojas, and ojas can be translated into this force of contentment or stability. It is really what gives us structure to our body and to all the energies around us. So when thinking of ojas, you can almost think of it being like this container. And then you have prana and tejas inside this container, but ojas is essentially what holds it all together within our bodies. So if like prana and tejas were to go like way in excess, ojas, this container would become thinner, it would become weaker, and essentially it could ultimately crack if it becomes too weak. So, but then if you have prana and tejas like too low and like not enough to fill the container, then the container becomes bigger, and then you're just very dense and you're very heavy, because when you have over amount of ojas, you become very likened to kapha imbalance signs and symptoms. So you're just like more have lethargy, you're heavier, you're denser, you don't feel like moving around because that container grows so big because the prana and tejas is so low. So it's really about coming into this like fully balanced kind of flow of prana, tejas, and ojas. Within the three bodies, ojas in the physical body is what gives us strength to our immune system. So it is truly what provides stability to our physical body, our immune system, and our health. Ojas in the subtle body is essentially our psychological stability. So this is what gives us our mental endurance. It kind of protects us against any psychic stress here at all. It really kind of helps keep our mind calm, our body calm, and just, really provide that mental stability and endurance that we need to handle ourselves in this physical world. Going deeper than that, in the casual or the karmic body, Ojas is contentment. It's pure bliss there. It is just fully in-tuned, happy state of contentment. The 3 different states of Ojas, the ideal balanced state is when you have good mental stamina. And this is just, strong stability, containing that mental stability when you're imbalanced. When you have too much Ojas, so you're in excess, you can become complacent, loss of motivation, lazy, lethargic. These are all just kind of more kapha imbalance signs and symptoms are similar. But when Ojas is too low, so you're deficient in Ojas, you can have quick mental fatigue, loss of mental stability, and kind of just like all over the place because you're not strong enough, because you're losing some of that container, that Oja, so you become more like spacey, you're just like fatigued quicker. You just don't have that stability and that strength like you would have in that balanced state. So the balanced state of Ojas, that ideal place, is when you're like strong, healthy, you have good mental stability, you're not like mood swinging all over the place, you're secure with yourself, and you're content. So Prana, Tejas, and Ojas, they are the 3 subtle energies of the 3 Ayurvedic doshas. We also refer to them as gunas, and they move through the body in the physical, the subtle, and then the casual and karmic body. Prana is likened to vata, the air quality. Tejas is likened to fire and the pitta, and Ojas is likened to water and kapha. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you have more questions about Prana, Tejas, and Ojas, please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hit you guys with more information, and let me know what you think. I love hearing from you. Thanks. I'll see you next time.